Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
I like to call this our astrological update. It's always changing. That is astrology. The planets are always moving, and there's a lot of different energy going on right now. So we're going to get that update and also talk about how you can look at your life and what is soon to come in your life. All of that done by this woman right here. She's an author, a psychological astrologer, which makes her very different. And she's amazing. She's back with us. Carmen Turner Schott is on the program. Welcome. How are you?
I'm good. How are you, Steve?
Very good. I know there's a lot going on. I know we have a Mercury retrograde kicking in about 3 weeks, a little bit less than that. Yeah.
Yes.
Just got done with some full moons, I believe.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah. We had a full moon Tuesday, Wednesday, really, even last night was still affecting us. So tonight we'll be feeling a little bit better, probably going to sleep better, not feel as irritable and as emotional because that full moon was in Aquarius, but then the moon moved into the sign Pisces on Wednesday, and Pisces is a very mystical, uh, spiritual, very sensitive to emotions kind of energy that's been going on. And I think a lot of people, were a little bit more sensitive, taking things a little bit more personal and things like that in the last couple of days, and maybe
Mhm.
getting a little nostalgic and crying. And people have told me, why am I emotional? Like I heard a song and I cried. This isn't me. I'm like, well, the moon is in Pisces. This is a very, very intense time that we just went through this past week. And people were dreaming more deeply. I know I hadn't remembered my dreams in a couple weeks, and I remembered three vivid dreams all on the full moon night until last night. So I've been dreaming a lot more than usual, and that's kind of what happens when these moon signs change. They affect our emotional nature. They affect our inner nature, our dream world, our mind, and our emotions. So we just kind of came out of that full moon. So this weekend, people are going to feel ready to get out and go and get things done because the moon is moving into the sign Aries, which is all about starting something new, being active, taking action, having fun, right? It's a fire sign. So we're going to probably want to get out and go this weekend. And so that'll be a very, very big change from what we've been feeling at the first of the week.
I'm right there with you. Monday evening, I had a Reiki session, virtual
Oh,
and chakra balancing, and the stuff that I
oh,
was told was like mind blowing,
nice.
and I feel like really accurate. But that night, I didn't sleep well that night, even the night
Mm-hmm.
after,
Yeah,
and I just I guess my mind marinated on some personal stuff
yeah,
where normally it's like, picture a rock on a stream on the top of the water, like that would be my normal MO for
sure,
sleeping. This, I
sure.
got deep into this personal
Yeah,
social situation and messed up my sleep. Now I know
yeah.
why.
Yeah,
Now I know why.
exactly. Exactly. I was
Wow.
up thinking all night, replaying things, songs in your head or memories
Mm,
or and it's things we want to stop thinking about, but it's like your body just won't calm. Your body
mm.
just won't calm down. And so it's interesting.
Wow.
I had that too all week, and I'm hoping I sleep better this weekend. But Aries, when the moon is in your sign, the moon changes signs every 2 to 3 days. So when it moves into your moon sign, we usually feel better. And so my moon sign's Aries. So I'm hoping at 11:19 tonight, the moon goes into Aries. Tomorrow I'm going to feel a lot more energy and just feel like I want to get things done because I've been a little bit procrastinating and kind of feeling blah. Like I
Same.
don't want to do anything but lay around and just relax. Like I
Same.
needed things to do.
Same.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like last night I had a free night. It started later than it should have. And I'm just, hanging out on my deck. I made dinner and I'm like, oh, I have some free time. So I could do this and I could do that. I could do this and
Yeah.
I could do that, which
Yeah.
is not smart. I just take the time to relax. And I did. Just laid on the couch. I never do that. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Good.
it seems different. Well, just what you're saying. I'm not trying to read into it. This week for me and
Yeah.
others seem like there's other things going on here, and now that
Mhm.
makes sense.
Pisces, the Pisces water moon was really making us introspective and wanting to connect deep. I mean, it was a good time to get a Reiki session during a Pisces moon full. I mean, that's very deep, can help you connect to your emotions and balance things out. So that probably brought a lot of stuff up though, because when you have Reiki
Yeah.
done, sometimes people get sick or they get headaches or they get emotional after because you'll start having memories come up because your body holds on to memories. So you're doing healing and things will come up. So and we just gotta let ourselves feel it and then let it go. Try not to dwell on it because Reiki kind of stirs up everything, so that makes sense too.
Yeah. Yeah. But I will say this after it, and I guess maybe because astrologically what's going on, things that were personally challenging me is like, now it's like, bing, bounces off. Whatever.
Good,
All right. Yeah, I'm not going to worry about that.
good.
That's going to be what it is. I can't control it. It is what it is. Just roll with it, and it's all good. Um, with what we got going on here at this point, this
Yeah,
week, everything we're
yeah,
talking about, and even for a
yeah.
few days onward,
Sure.
in a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being astrological craziness, like wow, crazy stuff.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
What would you put us at now? Scale of 1 to 10.
I would say now that we're over the first of this week, next week is going to be probably like a three. I mean, we're going to be okay next week.
Where were
Uh,
we?
we were probably like an eight or nine. Yeah. The
Oh,
full whenever there's a full moon,
ah,
um, it just really messes with people's emotions and there's just more arguments, like we talked about, there's more disturbances. People miscommunicate, they argue. People just on edge, kind of taking things personal. And I've seen that,
yes.
you can see it at work, in your
Totally
life,
agree.
your
Totally
kids,
agree.
your
It's
family, right? Your
yes, yes.
parents.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my gosh, like, no, I didn't mean for you to take it that way. It's just like miscommunication. It's not like Mercury retrograde, but it's similar where people
Wow.
are just ultra sensitive. You know what I mean?
Mm.
So I
Thanks for
think we're,
thanks for sharing. now
yeah,
now it makes
yeah.
sense. How does
But
that
we,
affect you, Carmen? I mean, you
yeah.
are, yeah, totally tuned into all of the stuff that we're talking about. Um, do you feel that it's amplified for you?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I had something going on. This is really interesting because I was just talking to someone about depending on what sign the moon is in, I typically have my psychic or vivid dreams where I dream about the future. I dream about someone right close to me. Sometimes in my life, I have connections with certain people. I'll just say that. And they're not in my life anymore, and maybe it ended badly, it was just a long time ago from childhood or college, whatever.
Sure, sure.
But there's certain people that I often will dream about their life. And it's like I don't want to know because it doesn't really affect me, but it bothers me when I wake up because I had a relationship with people, right, in the past. And so typically during a Pisces full moon, I notice this that I dream about this one person all the time and I dream about their life. And it happened on the full moon, the day after the full moon when it was full on and the moon was in Pisces. I dreamed about this person I'd not dreamed about in years. And it was very vivid. And I woke up and it bothered me for 2 days. It bothered me for 2 days. I wrote it down in detail and I'm like, I hope they're okay. I don't really talk to them, but it wasn't a good dream. Let me just say that.
And what you were dreaming, was it insightful to what could be going on in their life?
Yes, yes.
And have you found that what you've dreamt before, maybe for this person, turned out to be accurate?
All the time. It's like it's like a predictor. And
Mm,
I knew when this person was going to become a parent. I knew when they were going to get married for the second time. I knew when it's like there's this connection from afar, even though I've lived all over and moved and this person grew up with me in my childhood. So it's like there's this connection and I don't even think about it. I wasn't even thinking about the person. I just
wow.
dream about them. And so that's kind of what happens to me. And I realize, it's not anything I need to worry about. I learned this lesson with dreams. It's like you get glimpses of people's futures, and it's just things that are going to happen that you can't control. So I used to think, oh, it's a sign I need to do something. No, it's just my ability to see through the dream, just getting the information, and all I got to do is wait because It's not things that can be prevented. I learned that because I would tell people, I'm worried about you. I had a dream, and it would all happen the way it was meant to, the way I dreamed it. And it was just kind of like you get a glimpse of what's coming. And it's like a quote that I read that nothing happens in the real world until it happens in a dream. There's a theory about this, that when you dream of something, it's always before it manifests into the material world. So I thought that makes sense because I am dreaming things and then it's before they happen in real life. And it's little things like I'll know when someone's going to get a new job. I'll dream, or a divorce, or and I know because of how I dream or what I dream. And so I'm also worried about my own life. I'll tell you, because the full moon night this week, I had a dream about myself. I typically don't dream about my own life. I dream about everybody else. But I dreamed that I was looking for a passport and I was getting on a plane to go overseas and I wasn't prepared. Like I had no idea that where I was going, and I don't know why. And I said, oh, I didn't have my passport. I have to go out to the car and get it. And the whole dream was like disturbing because I was lost. I couldn't find my passport. I finally went out and saw my husband, Darcy. I have to get my passport. I have to get on the plane. They're saving my seat. And I woke up and I'm like, what on earth is going on? so, so hey, you're my witness. I'm hoping next month I'll have some answers during the new full moon, right? It typically plays out.
Do you think that that dream with the passport and the travel was a metaphor for something else in terms of being prepared? Or do you think it was literal, that trip, passport, not valid, issue?
I think I think it's a symbolic
That's what I'm
of
saying.
of my life and some big change coming in my life.
Okay.
Because with my work, or because to me, an airplane is like an organization, travel like somewhere foreign that I've never been before. So I think it's somewhere I'm not comfortable with if you analyze it like that. But I've been overseas, I've traveled overseas, I lived overseas, so I love to travel. I just haven't been anywhere in a long time, and I haven't needed a passport, but I have one and it's up to date. I asked my husband, I said, I know this is a weird question, but is my passport like up to date? He's like, why? I'm like, I had a dream about it. He's like, yeah, it's good for like several more years. I'm like, okay. So I
Hmm.
know it's good in case I have an opportunity. I mean, I'm hoping that it's an opportunity to travel or go somewhere. Maybe for my books, I would love that.
Well,
But I don't know. It could be
it could be
just,
something else, and
yeah,
it's telling you be prepared for something else. You brought
yeah,
back a memory, and it was this time last year, passport, right?
yes.
I was taking my daughter on vacation, and it was an important trip.
Oh, nice.
Couldn't find our passports. I had
Oh, oh
and
no.
very important, and
Oh,
I have a friend who is a psychic, and I reach out to her. I'm like, this can sound really weird, but I can't find my passport. Yeah, you got anything?
yeah.
And she said to me, yeah, it's in a box. Definitely in a box. Now, wait, I had recently moved. So I'm
Oh,
like, okay, duh, Jolene, it's in a box. Like, really? Like, come on, all right.
yeah.
I love you. You've been right every single time.
Yes, yes.
Our box. All right, there's lots of boxes around. I go to my office right here, and there's a metal strong box on the floor. And I had been through the box before. It wasn't there. I've looked under cabinets and everything, nothing.
Wow.
I go to the bathroom. I'm heading back, and something like hit me in the head, and it was like, go to that box again. I go in that metal strong box, and there was a manila envelope that I had been there through before.
Wow.
And that's where the passports were.
Wow.
So she was right about the box.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
thinking cardboard moving box. It wasn't that
It
box.
was a different kind of box. That
Yeah.
is really interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and I'm skeptical. Even she's a friend, like
I
you,
know
okay,
what.
you're right, but she's been right every time she says something, and she's very um driven. She's
Yeah,
on target. She's on target. So yeah, I
yeah,
mean,
very intuitive. That's
so you
awesome.
gotta think about the passport thing. What's coming for you, and maybe it is. It's as simple as a trip. Be ready.
Yeah, yeah. It's
Hmm.
amazing how the Pisces, when the moon is in a water sign, we dream more vivid typically. That's what I see with my clients and in my own
Huh.
life. And so either Cancer, Pisces, or Scorpio, when the moon is in those signs, that's when we're really deep and we dream more deeply. And I think we connect to more of the intuitive psychic realm, right? Our abilities when we dream during those times. At least for me, I feel like that's when I have a really important dream that I really remember that sticks with me. So that happened this week. So
Wow.
this week has been pretty intense. I'm hoping, I think tomorrow we'll all feel more energy and be wanting to get on the go and get stuff done, because Aries is going to give us that fire. It'll be a good change from the Pisces want to escape from the world.
I got
Can't
you.
sleep.
And I'm not even reading into what you're saying. I'm just feeling what I felt. And it is
Yeah.
just that. And today I feel way better than I did this whole week. Got a better night's sleep last night. I feel like I had a grip on things. And I even had, how do I put this? A business idea that popped in my head today. And I'm like, I feel that the universe has set me up for this point. And it has something to
Nice.
do with even what we're talking about.
Oh,
So I got to
cool.
think deeper on that, but it's like, it's almost like, Steve, how come you're not doing that? You've been groomed for this idea all along. Why aren't you doing it? So I
Huh.
just literally was driving about 2 hours ago and it popped in my head. So I don't know if it's the beginning of something new, but whatever. I should be doing something like that. So
Well,
we'll see.
this is good because there's a new moon this
Mm.
month on August 15th, and it's in Leo, and it's a good time to set your intentions and goals. So if you have ideas, creative ideas, it's the time to start thinking about them, asking, the universe, to provide whatever you need to do what you're wanting to do, and set those intentions. And then the next month during the full moon is typically when we see things manifest. So it's kind of like working with the cycle of that new moon will be good for you, because I'm looking at your chart here, and you got the North Node in Leo. So that means you're meant to become a Leo.
I don't even know what that means.
Leo, you know what Leos are? Leos are the entertainer. Leos are all about self-expression. Most Leos are on stage, or they're doing radio, they're doing acting, musicians, politicians, where people hear you, where you're a leader, but you're being creative and you're able to make money doing your creative talents. And that's kind of where you're moving towards, because you've already been an Aquarius, you've been a free spirit, you've been interested in all these spiritual things, science, technology, innovation. You're very innovative, very intelligent, and that's what you've mastered in past lifetimes. So, and you mastered it. I was looking at your house. It's in the 8th house, your South Node, which means you've been a phoenix. We talked about the phoenix energy. You've been someone that went through all these changes and these metamorphoses, is right, these challenges and growths throughout many lifetimes. And you have a lot of wisdom that you're bringing, but you're looking for that stability and comfort, and having kind of building what you need and not going through so much change. You've already been through all this change and healing and all of these things, and you kind of bring that knowledge of psychology and what makes people tick, right? And interest in all these things, Reiki, astrology, because you've already kind of studied this stuff. So I see that in your chart, and anything with Leo is good for you. So you're kind of, if you can master what you're doing with the radio is a Leo career field, all of this, but you have a lot of Pisces too, yeah, which is the angel energy. So you got both, and in your career, the 10th house, you have Pisces, which Pisces means whatever you do, you want to be able to help people in some way, because Pisces are, they're spiritual, they're artistic, they're creative, but they like to serve others and help people, and share, knowledge about all these spiritual topics. This is a total thing, but they like to heal people and help people heal. So with energy work, all of these things, I could see you doing some type of career field with this, because that's what's on your career house is Pisces. And you've got Jupiter and Pisces in your 10th house of career. And that means good luck, good fortune in your career house, actually. And could be travel, could be, foreign culture, because it's conjunct your midheaven there. It means you have good luck with your career, but sometimes it takes a little longer to get to where you want to go because you have Chiron there too. And Chiron is kind of where we have a wound that we have to heal. But you have a lot of good energy with radio, all these things with communication. Because, being a Virgo, you're a communicator. You love to learn, you love to talk. But it's interesting because your moon is in Libra, which is artistic, creative energy, and it's in the 5th house of Leo. So is your Mercury. It's in the 5th house. It's all about self-expression. Like your Leo North Node, you have a lot of planets in the Leo house. So I'm interested, do you have artistic ability? Do you play an instrument? Do you sing? Do you draw?
So
Because I'm looking at your chart, I'm like,
yes. If I wasn't doing what I'm doing now, I would have been a syndicated cartoonist because when I was in my early 20s, well, ever since I was a kid, loved radio, loved cartooning, and did both. And then I came close to being syndicated as a cartoonist. I was like 22 around there. I had already been doing radio. I was already at the big station in the New York area. I got lucky. I hit it kind of big in the beginning since literally since I was 17.
Oh, wow. That's amazing.
Then I kind of put the artistic thing behind me and did the broadcasting. And then you fast forward years later, I started a marketing company in between radio jobs, and all of the creative artistic stuff I get to use all the time.
Oh, that's amazing. I was going to say that's your emotional fulfillment comes through being creative.
This is true.
And that's where your heart is. Your moon sign is in the 5th house of self-expression, artistic ability, hobbies, doing what you love to do. It's the house of fun. So whatever is fun for you, that's what you need to do. And it needs to be expressing your creative side. That's really cool.
And what you said before, I feel that, I'm here now career-wise, but there's something right over here. And it's going to be, it's all going to come together somehow. And it's going to be connected to the metaphysical world. That's what I'm getting. And I've already worked in that, but I've worked with others, not myself that way. So what about personally? What are you feeling there?
Yeah. So.
And by the way, I just want to share, I gave you my date of birth, time of birth, and location, and that's it.
Yes. So the thing about you is that you like your freedom and independence. You're really a free spirit. And
I don't think I am, but I think I'm bound by chains at the moment for a number of different reasons.
Yeah. So being a Virgo, Virgos are known to be committed. They tend to like to have relationships. We like having someone to rely on, a friend, and usually get married pretty young. Virgos typically do. And then being a Libra moon, Libra rules the house of marriage and partnerships. So as a Libra moon, you've really probably, craved to have relationships, to have a commitment, right? And to have a partner, someone that you can share everything with and focus on. And sometimes Libra moons focus on their partner too much, because you also have Venus there in Libra. So, you're a peacemaker, you're affectionate, loving in relationships. The thing that makes you a free spirit is your South Node in Aquarius and your Sagittarius on the 7th house. So when I see Sagittarius on the 7th house, there's typically more than one marriage. Okay. That's very common. And that's because Sages, they tend to marry young, and sometimes it's someone that might try to control them. So Sag energy in the relationship house means you need someone that lets you be you and lets you come and go as you please and do your hobbies and adventures and lets you feel like you're free, even though you're in a relationship. So you need someone that lets you come and go, do what you want, if that makes sense, and not try to control you or dominate or boss you, if that makes sense. Because Sages are the optimist. They like to have fun. They like the outdoors. They like to travel. They like to learn. They like to be on the move. And so there's this feeling, Sag is known as the free spirit of the zodiac. I mean, a lot of them don't marry, or they marry late in life. And that's an Aquarius South Node. in past lifetimes, you probably, like to be a little bit rebellious and non-traditional type of person where you questioned authority, you questioned why do we have to believe this, and you research things, you investigated things with your mind, right? Because to you don't want to just believe what you're told. You kind of have that in you. You want to figure it out for yourself, right? So you may question, well, why do I have to get married? It's just a piece of paper. I can live with someone and be committed. That kind of
You know what? I say that now, and I wish I said that before. To your point, Carmen, married twice.
Okay, there you go.
And now I say that. What? Why do people get married? What's the point? It's a business agreement. That's what it is.
Yeah, you don't, and your soul does better, honestly, if you're not tied to something. Like if you can live with someone and have like a long-term committed relationship, but you don't have to have that piece of paper.
I
That's
agree.
what
And
that's what I
now I
see.
see that.
Yeah,
And I'm a lifer. I'm a keeper. I don't once
yeah,
I'm in. That's it.
yes, yes,
Whether the paper says so, a church or whatever says so, I'm in.
yeah.
We're pretty
Oh
much
my
out of time.
gosh, this went quick. Well, let me tell you one more thing about your relationship. You do best, and this is something you may not realize, if you marry or are in a relationship with someone from a different culture, country, or religious background than you. You actually have better luck in your marriage and relationships if someone is very different from you. Their ethnicity, their culture, they could live from another country, from another background from you. That's actually your best partner. This is something I'm just seeing, just glancing here. Okay.
So I will always be transparent about everything. I'm in, a few relationships, just dating, whatever. Lately, I've been thinking about just what you said, how I find somebody from, the UK, see somebody on TV. And it's like, yeah, that's kind of cool. It's, they're a free spirit. They have a different view than
Yes.
I do. And I find that
Yes.
I am finding that attractive. Not even kidding. Just thought about
Yeah.
that recently.
That's your good luck. Good luck with someone from a faraway land, someone that didn't grow up where you grew up, from far away. That's where your relationship luck is.
And you would think it would be the opposite because you want something that's familiar, comfortable, but I think quite better because it's interesting. Never gets
Yeah.
old. You learn
Yeah.
things. You teach each other things.
Yeah. That's right. That's
Haven't
right.
found that. Haven't found that person. I guess I got to find my passport.
Yeah, yeah, it's that Sagittarius energy. I've met a lot of people with the similar thing with Sagitt. They never thought about people that were from, a different country, culture, ethnicity, religion. And when they did, that's when they met people. That's when like the universe, manifested these
Wow.
people from Australia or England, like you said, it could be Asia, Japan, China, wherever. And then you have this bond, and then it all works out. And they tell me they get married and or they're living together or whatever, and they never believed it would happen, right?
We're out of time. Everything you've said so far, and I'm not just saying it to say it because we're here together.
Yeah,
It totally makes sense. It does.
yeah.
And I feel it's very current because what you just said, I was just thinking about. I
Wow.
literally this week, I wouldn't even tell you why it came up in my mind, but I was
Sure.
thinking about it.
Interesting. Very interesting. Because
Mm.
I hadn't seen your chart until I think it was just you just sent it a day or so ago, and I just pulled it up.
We have
Yeah.
to circle back. How do we find you?
Yes.
This is fascinating stuff. This is how you navigate life through astrology. Carmen, what's your website?
Yes, it's www.carmenturnerschott, SCHOTT.com. And then, you can join me on Facebook, Carmen Turner Schott, and Instagram, Carmen Turner Schott author. So love for you to reach out.
Yeah, and of course, your books are amazing.
Thank
And I
you.
wanted to get into that based on what we were talking about the Phoenix and the Angel. We'll circle back.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
fantastic.
Thank you.
Everything you have a way of making things very clear, and I think many people shy away from astrology because it just gets too confusing, and you
Yes.
get to the point.
Yeah.
Super cool. Thank you for being here. Really appreciate it.
Thank you. Have a good weekend.
You too.
Are you looking for even more of the podcasts and hosts that you love? The Podcast Business News Network is proud to announce that you now have even more ways to listen live. Check out the MyTuner Radio, online radio box, and Simple Radio apps on iOS and Android, or find us online. Search for Business News Network on mytuner-radio.com, or search Podcast Business News Network on streama.com and onlineradiobox.com/US. Take your podcast on the go and don't miss a minute of the action.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers.
Day-to-day simple tasks can become pretty daunting.
I have to carry my chair up 2 flights of steps or have somebody do it for me.
What scares me the most is just the falling.
When I'm struggling with my house, I think, to have that one great barrier just knocked down, it's crucial.
Home for Our Troops is a wonderful nonprofit that builds a
mortgage-free, fully adaptive, handicap-accessible house. And there's no catch.
It'll be our very first home that we've ever owned.
This is a game changer.
This is where your life begins again.
We need you to join us in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Because of you, everything's going to be okay.